Hey everyone, my name is Brett. Welcome to another episode of Marathon Pro. So for today's episode, we're actually doing something a little different. We're going to kickstart a new series that I'd like to call the Bayou Bugle. And by this being the Bayou Bugle, what I would like to do is have this with news and updates related to Hunt Showdown. I know sometimes it can be really hard to find all the patch notes, figure out when new things are coming into the game, but I'd like to make this really easy for you to consume and put it all in one place and get it to you really quickly. That being said, I'm definitely going to have the patch notes in the description below, as well as a link to the developer live stream where I gathered all this information from. And finally, something I'd like to do for the upcoming episodes is what I'd like to do is at the end collect feedback. What I want to do is get everyone to say what they think is the most important thing that I'd like them to fix in the next update or add to the game. And then we'll go over it in the next episode and review and see if they actually made the changes. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the update and review the patch notes. So I'm just going to kind of run down the line, so I don't think it's any in a particular order. They kind of highlight it by highlights and then from there on, but then maybe I'll talk about what I think is the most important and the biggest updates and changes and fixes that they made. First thing they have here is the new quest system. So basically this is going to replace the daily and weekly challenges, and it's going to be a lot more progressive based, and it's going to have an opportunity for you to choose your path. They also added some AI to the game. They added a pistol grunt, which fires a firearm as soon as it makes contact with a hunter. In addition to that, they have a lantern grunt, which can throw lanterns on you whether they're on or off. You can shoot all these weapons and tools out of their hands, however you cannot shoot a lantern while it's in their hand and set them on fire with it. They're also adding two new weapons to the game, which aren't really new weapons because they were most recently added in the latest event, the Trader's Moon event. They're adding a pistol, a compact pistol that's single action, to Caldwell 92 New Army. It is compact. In addition to that, they're adding the Winfield 93 Slate, which is a shotgun. There's been some mild audio changings where bullet casings make noise, hanging chains can make some more noise when you crouch through them as was before, and the sound design was just improved in general. Bloodbud content. They're adding 4 new skins. 2 of them are Hunters, Luna Wolf, Dire Wolf, and Wolfsbane and Blister. Wolfsbane is a Labelle Aperture, and Blister is a Springfield Compact Deadeye. Any Brawler variants now deal increased damage the same as the Knuckles, but they consume more stamina still. The Nitro ammo, it went from Dum Dum to the Shredder, which is just purely a cosmetic change to the name. It does not change the way it functions. The Caldwell 92 New Army is now unlocked at rank 12 and was reduced to $90 from $103. The Winfield 1893 Slate unlocks at Blood rank 48 and the price reduced from $250 to $300. The Machete is now unlocked at Bloodline rank 1. Spectre 1882 is unlocked at Blood rank 24, previously 36. And the Nagant Officer unlocks at 36, previously 12. Golden cash registers were also reduced in spawn print. Now on to the bug fixes. In the world, the ladder desync exploit. This one was a big one and probably one of the most important bug fixes they needed to do. This allowed players to use the ladder to see through walls and clip through them using desync. This list of bug fixes is pretty long, so I'll try not to go too detailed to every single one, but I'll go through as many of the ones that I think are important as possible. There's an issue where red skulls were giving XP after kills. Banished bosses would sometimes drop bounties in unreachable places. That's no longer an issue. AI could hear through walls. Grunts were not always facing the attacker. Butcher could not properly be interrupted. First time, the Butcher no longer roams where no players are around. Some of the weapons, there was some misalignment, including the Birthy Riposte. The iron sights were misaligned. The depth of blur was too long for the Birthy Deadeye. Iron sights on our Marrow 77 are now corrected. This one is another one that I think is really big bug fix, is the Hunter's crouching animation. These were kind of inconsistent between weapons. This was particularly found by Huge with the Birthy, where it appeared that he was sitting straight up as opposed to some of the older weapons and the other weapons where they were crouched over and hunched forward. This gave other people an advantage where they could see the top of your head before you could see them because your head would poke up higher than where you actually were standing. This may not change much in the game, but it will help at least a little bit. Another issue that happened is when you're using a Serpent, you could slurp a bounty and then eventually you'd never have to stop scanning and you could have infinite scan. Fixed a few issues where extraction timer would reset on dead players, or when you go to an extraction and nobody would be there but somebody had previously extracted, it would say it is blocked. Additionally, there is a lot of UI changes which are up on the board. Most of these quality of life, nothing too game changing. Feel free to check them out and read all of them specifically if you want to know if anything specific was fixed. In the known issues, there is a lot. As you all know, there's a lot of bugs that need to be fixed and get reported, and they can only fix so much per update. So I'm just going to kind of read the developer's note here, and then I'll let you guys do your due diligence if you'd like to read and see how many bugs there are. Some of them in here are kind of funny to read when you realize how silly they are. For example, the very first one. In some cases, weapons will come out of ADS randomly. That is hilarious, and I can't believe that that's a bug, but you know, they're here, and if you'd like to see them all and kind of laugh about them, go ahead. The developers note, we understand this list is long and can be quite daunting. We want to increase our transparency with the community and publishing our known issues list as part of that. We want to assure you that we are working on these issues and will continue to do so. I really like the developers note because the transparency is very important. And there you have it. That's all the Bayou Bugle is supposed to be. I know I ran through that really fast. I went through all the high level stuff and anything that I thought was pretty important. Now please, if you watched this video and you made it this far, leave in the comments what you think is the most important bug for them to fix next. We'll go through it in the very next one and we'll look through the list and we'll see how well did they prioritize based on the community, at least based on the people who watched and commented on this video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this was beneficial, and I'll catch you guys next time in the Bayou Bugle. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed and want to see us maybe in real time, feel free to come to a stream. I stream on this YouTube channel as well as on Twitch in the links below.